Hello everybody, this is Joshua Doherty, also known as Joshua Loyd Fox. This will be my very last public video. I'm going to have to do these videos moving forward under a subscription tab on Facebook, and I will not be able to put them on TikTok and YouTube based on my security clearance requirements for my new job. Have to keep a roof over my family's heads. So I've explained it ad nauseum. I apologize, and if I lose any followers, I'm sorry. Today I want to tell you guys the truth. I want to talk about what's really happening in the world. I want to lay it all out and show you from an analytical perspective the largest con ever perpetrated in human history has been occurring over the last 2 years, and we all fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Let's lay it out, shall we? The Trump family, who, when he first went into office, some of his companies had claimed bankruptcy. He was down to less than $1 billion. I don't even know that after his first 4 years he was considered a billionaire anymore. Is now worth $7.7 billion in cash. He has been trading on the stock market every single day since he's been in office, and he has manipulated the market for his own gain 39 times in Iran, saying that they were going to have a peace deal. And every time, 39 times, somebody cashed in on either selling oil shorts or having oil futures set away, or the very fact that the United States yesterday became the largest importer in oil or exporter in the world, bar none. We have surpassed Saudi Arabia and Russia to be the #1 exporter of oil in the world. Never happened before. His family's net worth is somewhere around $10 billion currently, and increasing through future stakes already developed. The very fact that this man became president and everybody who voted for him thought that he was going to work for them they have been hoodwinked completely and totally. Everything that this man has done since he got into office was to enrich himself and his friends. In fact, I bet you he got all of the, whole studies have been done that every retailer, every every level of life in the United States is controlled by just a few monopolies, mostly of investors, all the way down to just a few families. You guys can find those kind of videos all over the internet. I bet he got them together and said, stick with me. It's going to look bumpy for a while. Farmers aren't going to be able to plant a lot of food. We're going to go into famine. The people are going to be hurting and screaming and yelling for change, but we're going to be rich. And then after he gets out of the Oval Office, he just moves to a extradition country and sets up shop in and lives out the rest of his life along with his family. Kind of like the island getaway that Ivanka and her husband, or Ivanka and Jared Kushner are currently trying to build. Something like that. And how do I know that he and his inner circle have enriched themselves completely at the sake of the United States population and untold people dying around the world? We just had our world's first trillionaire announced by Forbes yesterday. Elon Musk, the guy who stood in the Oval Office with President Donald Trump for the first, about 9 months of his current presidency, who was in control of the electronic ballots in many, many states, who declared that President Trump was the winner 4 hours before the National Voting Committee announced that he was the winner, just became the world's first trillionaire when his company, SpaceX, IPO went public yesterday. Started trading at $135 a share, went up to $168 a share before trading was over with, and he owns 8.6 billion shares of SpaceX. And why is SpaceX valued so high as a now public company? Because of two particular government contracts that he got, because one of the first things he did, Elon Musk and his team, is they overthrew Treasury and OPM, who I worked for, doged everybody who could stop him, and got all of every piece of information of every contract in the United States government, found dirt on his competitors, pushed them out, and was awarded billions and billions of dollars in government contracts to work with NASA. The whole trip around the moon that was highly televised this year, if you don't think SpaceX had just about everything to do with that, who do you think NASA works through now? SpaceX. Now we have a trillionaire, and they had their falling out in the Oval Office. It was so cute, totally fake. We have been hoodwinked by the billionaire class. Coming up on a trillionaire class, everybody. How does one amass that much money? Do you know how much $1 trillion is? It's a million millions. $1 million, which most of us would never see in our lifetime. We would be considered 1% if we had $1 million in the bank. It's a million of those. How does somebody get that wealthy? Somebody who has multiple children by multiple wives and is considered one of the worst people on the planet. How does Donald Trump get into office twice, promising so much and delivering nothing? We've been hoodwinked. And all we do is fight amongst ourselves. Left versus right, blue versus red, north versus south, Democrat versus Republican, conservative versus liberal. And you don't think it's by design? Anybody here know how to amass wealth? I've been studying it for 8 years. How to amass wealth. Do you have any idea the level of evil and manipulation and downright trickery one has to do to amass wealth more than 99.999% of all other people on this planet, born with the same brain and 2 arms and 2 legs and 2 eyes, 2 ears? Do you have any idea the amount of manipulation that has happened from the billionaire class to keep us fighting amongst ourselves while they enrich themselves and people die around the world, and even more coming soon? You've all been lied to. Every single one of us have been lied to, and there's nothing we can do about it. Well, there is things we can do about it, but we won't band together. We won't see the disparity going on here. We'll just choose to keep blindly trusting the loudest voice in the crowd who tells us that they're there for us while they line their own pockets from us. Good luck with that. It's going to get worse before it gets better, people. I don't know what it's going to take to change this, but historically, we have changed it in the past. France changed it. England changed it. The United States, when they became a country, changed it. It's going to take something as drastic. But the longer we fight amongst ourselves, the less likely that will ever happen. And while your children starve, and you can't keep a roof over your heads, and we can't grow crops out in the fields, and we have no purchasing power left over, a very, very, very small percent of people who have been in power will have everything. That's what was voted in. It's a sad state of the world. Let's see if there's going to be a 40th ceasefire so that oil markets that controls everything else in the world can get manipulated one more time. I'm sad for us all. I love you all. Sorry for this dire conversation. I just thought I'd tell you the truth on my way out, as I have to go join the military industrialized complex once again, because it's all I know. I was an 18-year-old kid that went into the military because I had no other options. No parents, no college, no anything. I can't get away. Can't get away from it because I choose not to manipulate those around me. I love you all. I pray for you all. God help all of us. Joshua Loyd Fox for the last time. Over and out.